So earlier you mentioned obviously SEMA's a huge show, and and on my way up here is hilarious. I passed a giant KICKER semi-trailer going that way. Did that leave here this morning and head down? It looked like a car hauler. It was huge.
Yes.
Which I thought that was funny.
Evidently it did.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of where it was. That was in the back just the other day.
Yeah,
so.
I saw that leaving here. On the way up I-35. I was like, oh, that's kind of fitting that I passed that today.
Well, trying to think. I think there's a show that we're going to.
Yeah.
We normally have that out and show vehicles and stuff all summer long, traveling to different shows because we like to do the in-person stuff,
right?
And rub shoulders with people or elbows these days.
These days, yeah.
And but now we're able to get back to some of that. And interestingly enough, what we've done, I know I'm going down a few rabbit trails, but COVID has changed everything. And so what we decided to do, we also do CES, which is the Consumer Electronics show in January, just as big as SEMA, but it's all
tech
electronics rather than cars. But cars have electronics too. So SEMA was online virtually only last year. And we said, I think we can do our own online show.
Yeah.
And because we'll be one of thousands of exhibitors, how can we show our stuff?
Yeah.
And so we took our big conference room in the back, which is big, it'll seat 300 people, cleared it out, brought in our show vehicles, our booth displays, everything, and we bought a bunch of cameras and video equipment because we weren't going to Vegas. We still only spent...
Well, yeah, you had all that money that you could spend now,
We only spent a third as much, even doing all that we do, taking everybody to Vegas. We have 60 people we take to Vegas for a week and set up a big booth. And we did, and we learned, we taught ourselves, and we learned to do video, and we did our complete CES show 3 days online.
That's awesome.
First one was for our reps, second day for dealers only, third day for the general public, which the general public never gets to go to CES because it's the dealer only show.
Yeah.
And we showed them all our new stuff and went through each product, and it was like super effective. And we went on for 5 hours, and we lost very few people in 5 hours.
That's amazing. It
was, and we were giving away stuff too, and so we made it kind of fun. But now we're doing a weekly show that's about an hour and a half long. And so we've gotten into this video thing of showing our products and introducing new products on video. We're not going back to CES. It had slowed way down for us anyway. It's too expensive. Most of our competitors were out already. But SEMA is growing, and it's a good show. So we'll do that live, but we'll also do it online.
Of course,
And then we'll do CES or at the first of the year, we'll do a show online. And so that's something that's changed greatly. And like I said, I am not an expert in that. I'm not an online TV personality, but we've got a couple of guys, and one in particular that is great at that. He's a natural, and he knows the product deep. He can go deep. And he's not just he's not even pretty face. He's a good-looking guy, but he's got the personality and the knowledge, and so he's hosting that show, and we're bringing on other personalities in the car audio industry and interviewing them and talking about it. So it's not just about KICKER, but so this is a whole new deal for us this year, and but I have virtually nothing to do with it other than saying, go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I mean, to that point, right, Geneva Motor Show was cancelled, and there's big, like Ferrari and all these people are saying, no, we're not going to go back, right? Because then you have, like I said, you have all this available money that you would spend on a booth there to now put into this online stuff, which more people can see, and you get more reach out of it, which now it makes total sense. Do you guys have much, I guess, stuff in, I guess, the YouTube kind of side of things? Because there's plenty of, obviously, automotive YouTube pages are a huge draw as well.
Well, this is and we're doing this show on YouTube. Previously, we had not had that much. And we keep saying, we need to get into it more. We need to get into, our YouTube channel more. I mean, we were into Facebook, Instagram posting and all that stuff, and Twitter. But we have a dedicated social media guy, and we have now we have camera people too. But we hadn't really done the YouTube thing. We had a YouTube channel, but now we've got this show every week, 7:30, from 7:30 to 9-ish.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes later. And we've got a steady audience. We have, like, on the average of maybe 300 to 400 comments during the show.
Yeah.
Because guys are getting on the
Asking
show.
questions,
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah.
Hey, so you're here, you know.
Yeah.
So it's this kind of community thing. And then they're asking questions, and we answer questions, and we have some other YouTube personalities come on. It's all virtual right now.
Yeah.
When we get back to traveling, we'd like to actually have them here and do more
Right.
stuff than just sitting there. But anyway, it's so it's opened up a whole new world.
Yeah.
We still think face-to-face is
Of course.
tremendously important, and we will continue to do that as we can. But this will just be a supplement to that.
Yeah.
But we're going to cut back some on, like, CES trade
Right.
show.
Well, I guess, you know, when you have your own show, you can control what you put out. You know, it's totally directed to to the customer, and you dive into the comments and you start engaging with them, right? You ask them, hey, what do you want to see next week? What questions do you have? You know, it's easy to host a Q&A show from last week's
That's
questions.
exactly what they're doing.
And you get buy-in, and it builds customer value, doesn't it?
Right.
And you give them a shout out, hey, this question's from John in Norman or wherever it is. You know,
Absolutely.
It's really cool to do that, and you know, I'm a big proponent of it. I love it. You know, I wouldn't have a podcast without it. Social media's been great for the podcast and some of the other businesses that I'm in. And, you know, I do a podcast, 2 or 3 episodes a week, and some of them are over Zoom. And one of the ones recently we had was a lady in Tulsa, and she's like, I did 98% of my business through Facebook last year. Yeah. You know, and that business, like, provides for her family. And, you know, I love it. It's fantastic.
It's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just being kind of broken open. I mean, for a lot of us, I think. But the questions and the interaction, and what we're doing is not a big long infomercial. I mean, it's information. In general, too, and so we obviously have our products on there, and occasionally we talk about them, or if we introduce something, we do. But a good part of the show is just about car audio in general, and experiences people have had and cars they built and things like that. So so we're getting a good viewership, and they're doing some crazy stuff, like the guys that produce the show, it's at 7:30, so they order in food or go get food before the show. So when they're starting the show, they're just tell them what they had to eat before they get on there. Well, Ernie, he had a double hamburger, and I had, blah, blah.
But you make it personal by doing that.
Yeah, so they're just kind of joking around, and so guys are writing in, well, I'd like a pizza and stuff. So so what they did a pizza giveaway. And so, these guys enter in the contest, and then the winner for the next show, we had a Domino's pizza delivered to the guy's house. Turns out he's in Tulsa. And then he gets on Zoom on the thing, and he's eating pizza with his wife and his little daughter as they're watching the show, eating the Domino's pizza. And just, we don't dwell on it, but just kind of fun stuff.
Of course it is. A way to build raving fans, isn't it? That competition's probably not doing, right? It's just simple, and that pizza didn't cost you much.
People are looking for engagement and something fun. But then we've got the technical stuff as well. But this one guy was always posting about his bearded dragon, which is a bearded dragon. What are those, lizards?
I think,
okay,
I'm
lizards.
Terrible, but I would assume it was a lizard.
So anyway, he's always saying, and about my bearded dragon, or he always throws something in. So what they did for last week, Sandy, one of the ladies that works on it occasionally behind the scenes, so she took and made a little tiny T-shirt that says "Kicker Unmasked." That's the name of our show. That would fit a bearded dragon.
That's brilliant.
And gonna send it to him. And so
that's
now the advertisement for the next show shows a bearded dragon. That's they put it together with this little Kicker T-shirt on his back.
That's so good.
And so just silly kind of fun stuff mixed in with the serious stuff. And so people tune in and they like it. And I don't know where it'll go, but I mean, this is just where we're at right now with it.
Yeah.
But people like to engage. Plus, that they've been stuck at home, they're wanting.
Well, they also like to be seen as well, right? Recognized.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And people just click on, say, so-and-so in the house,
Yeah.
And so it's a kind of a community thing. And I would have never guessed we were doing anything like that.
Right.